I aim to motivate and inspire viewers to see the clothes they wear as an expression of their personality and their beliefs. This is the Slow Wardrobe. Come and have a look. Hello, welcome to episode 39 of the Slow Wardrobe podcast. My name is Linda and I am your host. In this episode, I will have a short knitting update section, 2 finished objects and 1 work in progress, just little ones, but a big one behind me. And in the Layercake section, I introduce a long-awaited new garment to the collection, the Layercake White Linen Shirt. But first, the knitting update. So, I will finally show you the new design that I've been working on. It's still not being published because I decided that I want to do 2 sizes, small to medium size and a large to extra large size. This is the larger of the 2 sizes that I knitted. It is knitted in John Arbon's Yarnadelic mini hank collection. There are 18 different colors, they're all in here. And then I've used 1 color as a dividing color in between the stripes in the middle section. That's also used as the bottom edge and the top edge. And then the whole thing gets felted in the dryer. Now, you may not have a dryer to felt in. If you don't, then it can be felted by hand. It can also be felted in the washing machine. But the advantage of felting in the dryer is that you have control over how long you felt. You can get it running for 10-15 minutes, open it up, take out the garment and see what it looks like. And by doing it in short installments, you can control the amount of shrinkage and felting that you allow your garment to have. I will explain that on the pattern. Like I said, it can be done by hand as well, but of course that is a lot slower and more labor intensive. There are lots of tutorials about felting of knitted garments and knitted pieces on YouTube, so I won't go into all that detail now. But I quite like the option, if you have it, of felting in the dryer for the reasons that I mentioned. So the mannequin that this garment is on is the new mannequin that I bought recently, and it's one of those mannequins that you can change the size of. You can see it here, the kind of knobs and the dials that you can change, and I can vary her size between a size 2 and a size 3 layer cake. So this top at the moment is a size 3 layer cake, and this is the larger of the 2 sizes for the shrug or poncho, however you want to call this. That is the new design. So I'm thrilled. As a result, I'll be showing a lot more photographs of the bigger size layer cakes, both on the website as I can filter them through, as well as on social media and here in the podcast. It's not just me anymore wearing everything in a size 1, which is not really fair. I really want to represent that better. I hope as well, as an aside, that in the course of this year I will be able to scrape together the funds to do some photography of bodies in different sizes, of different size layer cakes that I can start adding to the website. But at the moment, this lady will do, and proudly presenting the new design. So I hope to come out with a pattern for this as well, and I will discuss with John Arbon, the Yarnadelic people, whether I can sell kits for it with the pattern. All will be revealed soon, but I didn't want to wait any longer with showing the design. So this is the bigger one, and then there'll be a smaller one as well, both on the pattern. So that was my first finished object. Since I finished this, I've been on a bit of a sock kick, and this past week I finished another pair of socks for my husband. This is the Retrosaria Rosa Pomar Mondim yarn. I will put a link of the colorway down below, and as you can see, it creates this subtle spiral of pink and purple with red flecks. Lovely and easy to knit with, one of those very straightforward yarns. It's not the softest just yet, but it hasn't been washed yet. I've just finished knitting them, and I gave them a quick press in order to show you a nice flat sock, and we'll see how we go. I have never knitted with this brand before, and so I don't know yet how it's going to wash and how it's going to wear. I assume it's very hard wearing. It definitely feels hard wearing, but I'm interested to find out whether the fabric softens a little bit with wear. I will report back on that if I remember. If I don't and you're curious, then please ping me a message and I will do so. So that's my second FO, and then my work in progress in my gorgeous Trava and Wool project bag made with Layercake linen yarn. This is going to be a pair of rag socks. I knitted a couple of pairs of rag socks already with the rag sock kits that Estelle at Midwinter Yarn sells, and they're going great guns. They're indestructible. We wear them as slippers at home, the rag socks. And I figured that I fancied another pair. And of course, I am absolutely drowning in sock yarns at home. So rather than buying more of the specific rag sock Swedish yarn that Estelle sells, I'm knitting a pair of socks holding 2 strands of 4-ply together. Officially, rag socks are knitted on 4mm needles. These are 3 1/4 because I'm quite a loose knitter, and I wanted a relatively firm sock because I want to wear them around the house and just walk around on my socks. So the 2 yarns that I've stranded together is 1 strand of 5 Moons Diana, which is a blend of merino and silk, gorgeous, 50-50, and has a lovely sheen, of course. The other strand is a strand of one of those discontinued Rico yarns, Rico design yarns that I have used before. I think it was Rico Designs Paint. I will check and put the name below, although they are difficult to get hold of. And it's a subtle speckled yarn, and together with the 5 Moons Diana, it just makes for a beautiful, subtle, light color with that sheen of the silk. I'll put an inset picture of a close-up here so you can see it better. Now, normally, rag socks just have 8 inches of a 1x1 rib going down the leg, and then you start the heel. What I've done here is I've done about 3 inches of 1x1 rib, then a section of stockinette, and then the rest of my rib, because I want to embroider some motifs on the middle of the leg section. I saw some socks recently that had some color work in it in the shape of little toadstools, and I loved that so much. But rather than knitting them in, I thought I'm just going to embroider them on afterwards, because I like the kind of bit of relief that you get and the fact that it will stand out a little bit, that extra layer of knitting on top of my knitting stitches. So watch this space. Next episode I'll be able to show you what I have in mind. But for now, it just explains why this looks a little bit weird with the rib and then followed by the larger looking dimension of the stockinette. That gives you a better idea, I guess. So that's where the embroidery is going to be. So that's it at the moment for my knitting. I bought some more yarn to knit myself another jumper, but I haven't started it yet. I've got some other things that I want to work on as well, so I haven't quite got the yarn out yet to make a beginning. I'm not sure whether I should, because I have the feeling that if I do, that I won't do the other work that I wanted to knit on, and it's a little bit of pattern revision that I want to do and just not getting around to. So my socks are a bit of procrastination, really. At least I've come out with something nice at the end of my procrastination session. At least I'm not doing completely nothing. So that's it for the knitting this week. Well, let's get stuck into looking at the white shirt. I will follow up this week's podcast with a newsletter again next Friday. So for those of you who watch the podcast but don't really get the newsletter, if you're interested, the newsletters are in between the podcasts, so not always. I mean, last week I didn't do a newsletter, so there's one or maximum 2 newsletters per month, and I really only send them out if I actually have something specific and something new to introduce, like this week's white shirt. I'm introducing it here today, and then I follow that up with an introduction to my newsletter database this coming Friday. So enough about that for now. Let's get stuck in. Here is the Layercake Linen White Shirt. Here it is, the Layercake Linen Shirt. What do we think? Very simple lines, like all layer cakes, and clever solutions, or so I like to think. I'll talk you through them. At the moment, the sleeves are folded up like this. They have one button halfway up this very long cuff. When you wear the cuff down, it's a long sleeve, and then you can fold it up if you want. I went kind of with halfway up, but of course you can fold them up further. The main thing is that the cuff finishes below your elbow, so it's very easy to move with it, but you effectively can change the shirt from a long sleeve shirt into a 3/4 length sleeve shirt. You can either go and fold it up really high like this, nice and dramatic, or you can fold it up twice like this, and it stays. It has that button that is closed, which of course you can open if you wanted to. Doing this a little bit hastily. There we are, that's better. So you can leave the button closed or you can open it. And that allows you to roll up the sleeves further. You can go beyond the point where the cuff is attached if you want to, but the idea is that you can turn the long sleeve into a 3/4 length. Then we have the neckline. The buttons are small and unobtrusive with little loops instead of buttonholes, which I like. I'm not a big fan of buttonholes actually. Neither is Andrea, she hates them, especially hates making them. So, at the neckline, one little button with a loop. Of course you can wear this nice and open, wear a scarf or anything in it, or wear a scarf around it, because the other thing that we've done is we've put it on an edge here, a stand-up edge in the back, so that you get that lovely line and that lovely collar sitting neatly. but that edge goes to nothing in the front so that it lays flat here. Easier to work with scarves and shawls, but you can whip the whole thing up and then wear a scarf around it on the outside. Open or closed. Then there's the fact that I'll leave it open. Then there's the fact that there are no pockets. That is because this is meant to be a piece that is layered with other layer cakes that all have pockets. Starting with the herringbone baggies that I've teamed it with here just as an opener. I'll show you lots of other layer cake garments to go with it. And the hem is graduated, longer in the back, a little shorter in the front, but still a nice and long shirt. And it's got an A-line, narrower at the top and wider towards the bottom. Not ridiculous, but just a bit of flair. Now the graduated bottom is for lots of different reasons, and I'll show you the first one. The short duster. See what happens here in the front where you see a little bit of shirt and then it nicely swoops with the duster to almost nothing in the back. The sleeves just poke out a little bit and in terms of styling and look go perfectly with the look of the duster. Like? Let's change the bottom. Palazzos in charcoal. As you can see, a simpler, straighter silhouette, and the nice movement at the bottom of the swingy movement at the bottom of the duster and the shirt actually stands out more with that column shape of the palazzos. Let's keep going. Dress. Size 1 regular over the top of the palazzos. And here is a good example of showing you what we've done with the shirt to make it fit really well with the dress. What happens is that the sleeves of the shirt get slightly nipped with by the armholes of the dress, only slightly. Because what we've done is put armholes in the shirt that in terms of their depth are between the dress and the smock and tabard and play suit and, you know, the overpieces, the typical overpieces. And the reason for that is because we wanted to make the shirt really relaxed and roomy. You are not in any way restricted in your movements when you wear the shirt. And you order the shirt in exactly the same size as you would order your other layer cakes. And then we have made sure that that shirt will fit perfectly in combination with the corresponding size of layer cake garment. Unless for whatever reason you decide you want your shirt very oversized, then it's unstructured enough in its shape that you can wear it in a really oversized and more like a smock, almost like an old-fashioned painter's smock. You could wear it oversized like that. But if you buy it in the same color, the same size as your other layer cakes, then it's made to be worn with them underneath them and fit really well. You can see that relaxed sleeve inset and how the collar sits beautifully in combination with the neckline of the layer cake garment that you wear with it. Let me show you how it sits when I replace this dress with a smock, for example. Staying with the neutrals, don't worry, there's color coming. I just thought with these contrasts, it's easier to explain those different lines and how they sit. You can again see how the neckline works with the neckline of the shirt, and then how the armholes work with the sleeve inset. Can you see that? So there's a smock. I'll quickly show you a tabard as well. Why not? Tabard in dark teal. Same happening here at the armholes and at the neckline, and of course the opening down to here, that's all deliberate to make it sit beautifully together. And the A-line of the shirt underneath the tabard follows the A-line of the tabard, so it all sits very comfortably on top of each other. I just realized I haven't grabbed a mini tabard. That would be nice to show you as well, how that sits on top of that graduated hemline. I'm gonna dig one out, bear with me. Here's the mini tabard, isn't it a treat? I think the white of the shirt and then just a plain bottom layer, if you like, really shows off the mini tabard to good effect. I love this look. One of those examples of something that I hadn't actually tried yet. I knew it was going to work and I knew we were going to get these lines, but now I've seen them. Oh my gosh. Okay, more color. I'm going to change these for something more jazzy. These are my personal pink herringbone baggies that Andrea made for me when she made the black herringbones as well, that I opened with. I'm wearing the black herringbones all the time. They've been washed, I can't tell you how many times already. So the good feedback and useful feedback actually is that the herringbone linen stands up in the wash just as beautifully as our regular linen does. And that sheen, that shimmer that it has doesn't go with washing. You'll keep that, which is great. But back to these. I haven't even worn these once yet. And I think it's because they're a real spring thing for me. That wearing that bright pink is still a barrier. So I'm waiting for nicer weather, warmer weather. I'm probably end up waiting for some of these to come off the production line so I can wear my pink baggies with the white shirt. I love the combination. So a couple more garments to show you actually in combination with this. Of course you can kind of guess how many of them are going to look, but one that is particularly interesting, like the duster was to show with the shirt, is the tail smock. Let me go put it on. Ta-da! See what I mean with that graduated hem? Have I tucked in the facings properly? I always forget that here in the back. Make sure that you run your thumbs through so the facings are properly tucked in. And then here you go. Isn't that lovely? Of course, now I want to put the palazzos back on because I am always talking about how it is such an effective combination to wear a tail smock with a crisp white shirt, which we now finally have, and then a pair of jeans, for example, and a pair of boots. It's one of my still favorite outfits that one of our customers put on a stand years ago. I think it was at Yarnadelic. Blue jeans, brown riding boots worn over the jeans, crisp white shirt, and then she had a red tail smock. My gosh, it was fantastic. Anyway, I can't replicate that completely. First of all, I don't have the skin-tight jeans that she was wearing, and it's not the same look. It's not as impactful a look if I try to replace those jeans with leggings, for example. But what I can do, of course, is show this with the palazzos. In fact, I can show it with purple palazzos, the same violet as the tail smock. Let's see what that's like. I have no idea yet whether I'm going to like that, but let's try it. Huh. That's good actually. First of all, the outfit does exactly what I want it to do in terms of what the palazzos add to the outfits. Like, again, that column above which all the movement takes place of the graduated hems, the swing of the shirt and the tail smock. But I was worried, you know, in my mind, without having tried that on, I thought, yeah, that bright violet with the bright violet bottoms, that whole samey thing that I've got some kind of hang up about as well. I mean, I've done in previous episodes, I've done outfits that were all in one fabric, and I always like them when I put them on. Yet when it comes to thinking about it, think, oh, well, let's do the same color. I go like, nah, I don't like that. I have no idea what that is. But anyway, here is violet top, violet bottom with that crisp white shirt in between. And boy, does that white shirt make an impact on the outfit. I love it. Of course, if you then have, the hair's getting a bit long, can you tell? My daughter's still doing my undercut, so that's nice and short, but we don't touch the top because, of course, we can't do the magic that my hairdresser does, so I have to wait for that to open again. Still kind of manageable, but it all comes a bit jungle-like. I've complained about it in the previous lockdown as well, I think. I need to just wind my neck in, and if it gets too long, start wearing it in a ponytail. That worked last summer. Just remembered that, actually. Anyway, back to this. I digress as usual. Of course, when you change this for black palazzos, it really changes the outfit because the black stately column makes an impact. It makes a statement. I'll show you. Like this. Isn't that different? And if you would have asked me 10 minutes ago, which is going to be the better outfit, the black palazzos with the white shirt and the violet tail smock, or the same top but with the violet palazzos, I would have said, well, the black, of course. And now, seeing it like this, they just serve a different purpose. So yeah, I like both outfits. Kind of unexpected. I don't think I need to show... Oh, you know what? How about some ovies? I haven't tried the overalls with this yet. I mean, we can kind of guess what the play suit is like, right? Or shall I show you the play suit as well? I guess I should still show you both. Let me go get some because I didn't actually prep those. I thought they don't have to see everything, but I now want to see what the overalls are like. Bear with me. So here's the overalls. I grabbed a size 2 because I wanted to show the pinstripe and I don't have a size 1 pinstripe. So anyway, so I tend to wear either a size 1 or a size 2 with the overalls, and at the moment I'm more comfortable in a size 2 because of my big winter tummy. But you get a good idea whether this was a size 1 or a size 2. Well, the size 1, of course, would be more nippy around here, would show my tummy a lot more. But you can see what it's like with the white shirt. And just to round this off and not go on forever about it, however excited I am about it, a play suit and then done. Here it is. Blue crossweave play suit shirt, nicely hanging underneath, doing the same thing as the other garments at the top. So here it is, the white Layercake linen shirt. I do want to show you one more. Long duster, the long duster. I have been planning to put this on as a last garment because I like so much what happens here around the neckline and the sleeves with the duster. But now I also realize that right at the end of the program, I've covered it all up, and this beautiful new shirt that we're introducing, all you can see is the collar. Oh dear, best laid plans. Let me uncover it just before I say goodbye. There, back to the starting point. My well-worn black herringbone baggies with our new kid on the block, the Layercake Linen Shirt. So, available in the 4 Layercake sizes 0, 1, 2 and 3. White colour only at the moment to try and keep our production costs at bay, because they spiral if we go for multiple sizes and multiple colours. The pre-order period is a little bit longer, not just a week and a half. Some people need a little bit more time to consider, and the longer I shout about it, the more people I can reach. My database is still very small. My reach on Instagram is still not that big. So if you are one of my followers on Instagram and you can alert any of your friends or acquaintances to the Slow Wardrobe and to Layercake in specific, I'd be very, very grateful. I would love to grow my follower base both on Instagram as well as this podcast, and get the Layercake word out to really turn it into a longer term viable business proposition and brand, because we are still such a fledgling. It's like that we could be gone, and I would like to create a more solid base there, pandemic or no pandemic. All of you who are supporting us so loyally and so enthusiastically already, thank you so much for your ongoing support. Without you, we wouldn't be here in the first place. So bear with me while I try to get the word out for this white shirt and try and generate some lovely pre-orders, and you will see your first white shirts coming through in 2 to 3 weeks is my guess. But I will update you as we go along, starting with next week's newsletter. Here's another little twirl, and I will see you again soon.